Hello, Dr. Coker here, and this is the story recap for The Rift in the Elder Scrolls Online. This is the last zone of the Ebonheart Pact storyline. Previously in Eastmarch, just as Prince Ernscar honored you with the title of King's Arrow, you received word that Shore's Stone in the Rift is under attack and they're requesting your help. This is what brings you to the Rift. When you arrive in the Rift, you speak with Vigrod Wraithbane.
The King's Arrow? Well met, my friend. The town's under constant threat, and a horde of Reachmen took over the mine and sealed themselves inside.
He doesn't know what the Reachmen are up to, and he tells you to speak with Zish if you want to help out. Outside the mine, Zish tells you the Reachmen have a magical shield that needs to come down. First, she gives you a talisman and asks you to remove corruption from corpses to allow them to rest. Zish says the talisman has been imbued with dark magic that can now be used to break the shield. Inside the mine, you find Foreman Gandus.
I'm happy to see you. Please keep your voice down.
He doesn't know what the Reachmen are up to either, but he says the Reachman shamans sealed themselves in a tomb and you will need 2 relics to get in.
Long have we guarded the shade, watching over the bones of the evil Sinmur. Enter, chum.
Return and taste the blood of Ysgramor's heirs!
Ysgramor's heirs.
After the ghostly beings vanish, you read the tombstone and find that a giant named Sinmur the Terrible is buried there. After freeing a few miners, you make your way outside and speak with Vigrod again.
Our worst nightmare has come to life. Sinmur has returned. The ancient enemy of the companions must be faced once more.
Vigrod says the Reachmen have taken Followstone Hall, and he asks you to rally the survivors and help reclaim it.
To the hall!
For Ysgramor, the hall will be ours once again.
Returning to Vigrod, he says they need the help of Sage Tyrora, but she is dead. Vigrod asks you to try and commune with her using her ashes at a nearby altar.
Why are you talking to me? Enemies are in the hall!
She agrees to help and then vanishes. You enter the hall, fighting your way through Reachmen, and kill Chieftain Frostfang. At the entry to the vault, you see the Sage's ghost.
Sage Tyrora answered your call. Sure bless her.
Vigrod is going to clear out the rest of the hall while you enter the vault to make sure the legendary axe Wuthrod is secure. As you enter, you see several Reachmen escaping through a portal, and you find that the axe is missing from the statue of Ysgramor. You escape the vault and tell Vigrod that Wuthrod has been stolen.
It's as I feared then. Wuthrod is the only weapon we know that can send Sinmur back to oblivion. Trolls take every one of them.
Just then, a messenger arrives saying that the Reachmen are gathering in the woods and they need fighters to head there now. When you arrive, you encounter Dajahil, who says the worm cult is present and they're doing something with the Reachmen, but it's unclear what exactly. She says she has a globe that can be used on cultists just before killing them, and it will store their memories. With the help of Lieutenant Belron, you glean what useful info you can from the dead cultist. You learn that the Worm Cult made a deal with the Reachmen. The Reachmen brought Sinmur the Giant back from the dead, and in exchange, the Worm Cult are giving them a blessing from the Lord of Brutality, which is occurring right now in a nearby ruin. You report to Daja Heel.
That's a dark twist in the river. I'll send troops to investigate the ruin. It's been dirty work, but I thank you for your help.
She asks you to find Belron and help him out. Belron says he needs you to kill a Reachman named Calix Thorntongue and return with his heart.
Necromantic energies gather in the heart. It's the seat of life and unlife. Everything I need to know about a person, I can learn from his heart. I suppose I am a little obsessed.
He says it's possessed of powerful magic, and he needs you to collect a few more.
You've returned. With a number of dripping presents. Excellent work.
He then says there's a dark part of the wood that the living cannot traverse, only the dead may pass, so you ask what to do next.
Oh, I thought it was obvious. We kill you, sort of. These grave-born hearts, yes, imbuing their essence into a potion, like so. Drink this. Trust me, nothing will go wrong.
Now that you're a skeleton, Belron says you need to cross the Shroud and destroy a totem that powers it.
Let's go!
You're looking a little dead around the edges. Let me take care of that. Let's get this done.
You fight through the ruins, and at the center, you encounter the cult leader, Thrall Blackthroat. Then you return to camp. Dajahil and Belron did not survive the fight, but other soldiers say their sacrifices will be remembered. You ask a centurion what's next, and he says the worms are still at large and we need to warn more settlements. He directs you to find Thane Fiora in Nimalten. As you approach Nimalten, you're told that there was an assassination attempt on the Thane by her own housecarl. In the Thane's house, you speak with Era Earthturner, a familiar face from Bleak Rock Isle. She says she's here to investigate the matter. Then the Thane says that her housecarl was a worm cultist.
Tell no one that Beitarnes was a member of the worm cult. I won't have Nimalten fall into chaos. We are on his trail. My advisor and the court mage search for any hint of the cult as we speak.
She tells you about different people helping with the investigation and says you can speak with them if you like. The first guy, Borodin, is drunk and isn't taking the investigation seriously, while the second guy, Gullin, is poring over books about the worm cult. Then Era Earthturner suggests checking out Beitarnes' home. After poking around, you find a note that says the spirits are the key to Sinmur's power. After reading the note, you're attacked by a cultist. You dispatch the attacker and head back to the Thane, but on the way you speak with Era.
Oh, good to see you. I have sad news. Golan is dead. We heard the sounds of a struggle. My soldiers and I arrived too late.
You look over Golan's body and find that he was concealing a glowing orb. Using the orb, you find that Golan has stored his memories in a magic projection. From the projection, you learn that the cult plans to bind spirits of the companions, and they are gathering in the crypt below Nimalten. At the crypt entrance, you find that Borodin the Drunk is also a cultist, and he teleports you deep into the crypt.
I doubt I can take you in a fair fight. Luckily, I don't have to.
You fight your way through dozens of cultists and eventually encounter Borden himself. After killing him, you still have to fight your way through dozens more cultists to escape the crypt and report to Thane Fiora.
The cultists... they came out of nowhere. Ira, she was leading them. She demanded I join the cult.
The Thane insists she will be fine and wants you to track down Era.
She went into the crypt.
So you've come to kill me. The worm cult came when I was grieving. They said they could reunite me with my husband, my boy. All I had to do was pass information about the pact.
But the cult demanded more of her, and now she regrets it all and is done with the cult. You still decide to kill her for her crimes.
Your legend ends now, hero of Proud Boy.
You tell the Thane that Era is dead, and she says she has no tolerance for cultists in Nimalten. A dark elf named Hekvid approaches and says the worm cult has trapped some researchers at Pinepeak Caverns, so you head that way. Outside the caverns, you gather information from some of the researchers.
Do you know what this place is? Pinepeak Caverns? This is where one of Ysgramor's companions was buried. Hakra was her name. We came to ensure that her tomb was safe, but the worms were already here. They ambushed us inside, and we barely escaped.
She says they plan to bind Hakra's spirit, but she gives you a shard. She says if you stab a corpse with it, Hakra will possess the body and you can speak with her.
Whose body was this? The flesh reeks. You placed me in one of those cultists, damn you!
She says, to escape before the cultists bind her, she needs you to destroy 3 burial urns.
The dead rise within the caverns. The last urns above us! Hurry! I'm his now.
You enter Hakra's tomb and find that the cultists are doing something with her spirit, and you have to defeat them and the spirit. Outside, you find Hakra's free spirit, who is happy the cultist plan was foiled. Then an Argonian named Netapatu tells you that Valdur, another of Ysgramor's companions, is entombed in nearby Taarengrav, so it would be wise to check on his grave as well. On the road, you encounter a dark elf named Raynor, who confirms what was feared. He tells you that his sister Kyreth led a team of delvers to investigate the barrow in Taarengrav, and they were attacked by worm cultists. Raynor himself abandoned them. You arrive in Taarengrav and meet Narir, the leader of a group of companions who came to help.
The worm cult has made a mess of this dig site. We arrived in time to blunt their first assault, but they'll be back. I don't know if we'll live through another one. But I won't abandon these people.
He says the Delvers were solving an ancient puzzle and the cultists killed them to take their notes. We need to get the notes back. You attack the cultists at the barrow and recover the notes, rescuing survivors you can along the way.
I can make it back on my own. My thanks.
You find Raynor's sister, Kyreth, bound in a tent. As you untie her, she tells you what she's learned about the cult.
Wait. I heard what the worm cult is after. They're searching the rift for spirits of Ysgramor's legendary 500 companions. They intend to enslave those spirits and bind them to the giant Sinmur.
She says the notes you've recovered lead to the vault where one of Ysgramor's companions is buried. Her apprentice, Danoras, is inside the barrow and can help you enter the vault if he's still alive. The moment you enter the barrow, you encounter the spirit of the companion thereafter, Valdur. He urges you to stop the cult ASAP as they are already casting spells on his body. Deeper in the barrow, you find the apprentice Daenerys.
I've got a gut wound, and I'm losing blood. Aside from that, I'm doing just fine.
He's thankful you've recorded the notes, and he says they reference an ancient poem about a whale, an eagle, and a snake. The doors in this room have symbols above them, and after accessing them in order, you find yourself in the vault where the ritual is taking place. You succeed in stopping the ritual, and the spirit of Valder is grateful.
It's been so long. I'm free, and you saved me. Thank you, Liege Lord.
He says the cult is gathering at Honrich Tower and asks you to head there. Camped outside the tower, you find the king himself, accompanied by freed spirits.
We can't wait for more reinforcements. We must strike back against these bastards before we lose our chance. They are building an army of Daedra. Their leader, that bastard Thalic Wormfather, stole Isgramor's axe, Wuthrad. He has roused the ghost giant Sinmur.
He tells you the spirits will ride with you. Valdur's spirit says you should start by closing Daedric portals they've opened in the area. Then the spirits open a portal for you that will lead you to Arcwind Point, where Thalic Wormfather, the cult leader, is. In the tower, you find Captain Hrosta, who came before you with a small contingent of soldiers.
Oh, thank Kain. King Yoren said you'd be coming, but I was beginning to have doubts. We thought we had Thalic Wormfather cornered, but these damn cultists put up a fierce fight. My soldiers were all killed. I'm the only one left.
She says the way forward is blocked by a ward that requires a living sacrifice. She offers to give her own life, but it turns out there's a captive Reachman nearby who attacked the rift. You can let either of these become the sacrifice.
Kain, give me strength.
Once inside, you find Thalic performing a ritual with Wuthrad the axe and Sinmur the giant.
Will prevail.
As you kill him, his spirit rises and awakens Draugr from their tombs. Then you ask the spirit of Hakra what just happened.
You saw the same thing I did. We stopped the ritual and you killed Thalic, but Wuthrad shattered. Thalic used the remaining power of the axe to fuse with Sinmur.
You take the axe's haft and enter the portal back to the tower.
Well done. Take the portal.
The king honors what you've accomplished, despite Wuthrad being shattered. He says the giant went east and asks you to find Captain Viveka in Riften.
Welcome to Riften. I don't have time to be polite. We need help. If you're willing, I'll love you forever. If you're not, get out of my way.
She says the giant has attacked Riften, and there are bodies and fires everywhere. She also says the dead need to be burned to prevent the spread of disease.
Thank you for freeing me.
Well, glad to see someone who can get things done. Good work.
Captain Viveka tells you about a girl who's in shock after seeing her father pulled into the canals, so you head to her home. You speak to her aunt, who's on edge.
Oh, Shaw's bones, I was ready to murder you. Some bastard just tried to kill my niece. That's him. Gutted like a fish.
You check the cultist's corpse and find a note, which orders the assassin to interrogate the girl and find a shard of Wuthrad. To help the shocked girl calm down, her aunt suggests you get her a cup of her favorite tea. In the market, you find a merchant selling the tea, though he overcharges you for it.
White moon? Father's tea. Pa always said it reminded him of the stories. The peddlers would tell tales around the campfires.
The girl reveals that her dad was pulled under by a dead thing in the water, like a drowned zombie. You report this information to the local centurion, but he says he's tired of rumors of the cult and zombies and doesn't have the resources to investigate every rumor. He suggests you investigate it yourself. You start by speaking with the homeless around town, and they confirm that they've seen zombies come from the water. While you're speaking with one of them, a zombie attacks. After chasing a series of clues, you find a cultist necromancer who's raising corpses at the docks. You kill him, but you learn that the cult escaped with a shard of Wuthrad. You report all this info back to the Centurion. He is shocked that all of this just happened, but thankful for your service. With the situation in Riften wrapped up, Captain Warhammer approaches and tells you the king is prepared to put an end to the worm cult once and for all. He'd like you to meet him at Trollhättan, where he needs your help. You inform her that the cult is gathering the shards of Wuthrad, then head off.
I see Captain Warhammer tracked you down. Good.
He says the worms are blocking the passage to Trollhättan, but he wants you to help push through. The first step is to enter the pass and destroy 2 orbs. Then you rally with Vigrod Wraithbane.
Excellent. You've cleared the pass for us. I'm moving our troops forward now.
You have to face Thalek and Sinmur together, but Vinrod says you can separate them with shards of Wuthrad. He has leads on where to find them because of witnesses who saw them land. Alternatively, he suggests allying with mighty companions. Either way, you enter Trollhättan and meet with King Jorun.
We must push forward or all is lost. Follow me. Come and die on my blade.
You manage to unmerge Thalek from Sinmur by dealing heavy damage to the giant.
So eager to die.
Shore's bones. The monster's down. Well,
the spirits of Isgramor and his companions appear.
Isgramor. I'm not worthy.
Rise, Yoran Skald King. Rise and greet me as the true champion of the North.
They praise the king and cheer his victory, but also warn that a hard road lies ahead. The king is proud but concerned about the warning, and believes the worm cult were but pawns of a bigger foe.
Yes, as Isgramor said, their masters reside in Cold Harbor. We have no choice but to invade. I must return to Monhold, my friend. I hope to see you there.
This concludes not only the story of the Rift, but the entire Ebonheart Pact storyline. At this point, the story merges with the main quest, as you try to unite the 3 banners and take the fight to Cold Harbor. To continue watching this storyline, the next video would be from the main quest series, which I will link in the description when it's finished. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the Ebonheart Pact series. You can also check out my series for the other banners or story videos I've made for other games. See you next time.